going to see a Super Bowl winner. Like, my window is closing, Fred.
Never know. I mean, it could happen. I could end up at one of these Chauncey Billups poker games.
It's Monday, y'all.
Today's episode is brought to us by Playoff Mike Tees. That's right, Fred. Playoff Mike Tees. Our grand winner, Playoff Mike. You saw the intro for our guest. It made them all gold, which we're going to talk to him about that. And then, but now you can buy It's Monday Y'all t-shirts. Click on the link there. I provided the link so everyone get those t-shirts. I know some people have been asking about them. I just ordered mine today, so should be in a couple weeks. I'm super excited about that. Fred, Valentine's weekend, my friend.
Yes.
How was your holiday, my friend? How was the holiday?
It was very calm, very relaxed. Went to Old Town, Old Town San Diego on Saturday, walked around a little bit. Okay. It's old historic little lot of Mexican foods and little shops, museums, stuff like that. Very touristy, I will say, but the food was amazing there. Everyone's making handmade tortillas, like right there. You could see them in the window of every restaurant. A lot of cool stuff. I actually sent you a picture of some lucha libre masks.
Yes.
I wanted to take a picture with one, but it says don't put masks on unless you buy.
Obviously, there's a problem there. That's a common thing. Then I take it.
So
I believe your question was, should I get this for cousin Doug?
Yes.
Yeah.
So did that, and then yesterday drove up to Santa Maria. That's where I am now. But stopped at in LA. Stopped in Little WeHo. Went to hang out with the Vanderpumps for a minute.
You love the Vanderpumps.
Yeah, it was really good. I'll talk to you later about it, though.
Okay. All right. Yeah. We did our normal. We went down to the casino. Stayed down there last night, and I have fun. I enjoy myself. People watching. Dinner at Prism, which was really good. Always a good meal there. But I don't win, Fred. Like text you. I told you. You said put on 3, lost. I did it twice, lost. Like the only bet I won, and I sent you a text. I was like, Fred, I'm not betting anymore. The only bet I won was a Colin Morikawa winning the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. $5 paid me $55. Happy, and I'm happy for Colin. He was long overdue. Overdue. So that was a great tournament, and your weather out there in California is a little tricky, bro.
Right now, they're going through a little rainy storm for a couple days, so everyone's getting a little fired up here. Telling people to batten down the hatches and stuff like that.
Well, if you remember a couple of years ago, you and I, when we were out there together, we drove from from San Francisco all the way down to LA, and we got stuck. Remember they made us move the car because there was so much water in the parking lot? That was terrible.
Yes. Well, and that was in January.
Yeah.
So maybe this is the rainy season out here. I don't know, but still nice out, 60s, but like rainy.
Can't beat it. All right. Well, we got a guest on this week. Okay. And you and I, we haven't brought this up. We kind of went back and forth online, but Michigan, the state of Michigan has just announced that MHSAA, the Michigan High School Athletic Association, is now allowing NIL. And at first I'm just like, this is wild. Like, what's going on? And as I dig deeper into this, like, I didn't realize that Michigan was like one of the last states to approve this. Apparently in every other states. I mean, shoot, even your brother-in-law reached out to me and said that it's been going on in California for quite some time. But so today what I wanted to do is I wanted to bring on a special guest. We have a sports manager from Power Play Sports. He goes by National Natey, and we're going to bring him on, and we're going to talk NIL. We're going to ask him some questions because I'm very curious how he's operating as a sports manager and how this NIL, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? On here, National Natey, welcome to the podcast, my friend.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Glad to be back with you guys again today.
Sorry about that. But we
No,
wanted to bring you on because you're a sports manager for Power Play Sports.
Mhm.
And just tell us how you got into the sports management business.
So, just early on being around a lot of high level basketball guys, growing up in Bloomfield, being able to be around some of the Piston legends and seeing how they went about their day to day life. And something I want to remember to say is just watching guys who were sports managers, sports agents make guys into kings and wanting to be a kingmaker instead of like just a king, right? And if you're a kingmaker, you have no enemies and you're responsible for helping all these other people become kings. You know, if you're just one king, you're so focused on yourself, and that's not the type of guy that I am. I'm big about building other people up around me, and so that was like really key for me and something that really got me into it. And watching my best friend make it to the highest of high levels and other people around us, it just was like, why not, bro? It's the best thing for you to do, So yeah.
So how did you get involved in Michigan NIL when it came around?
I like to say I'm a pioneer in Michigan NIL, to be honest. Antoine Davis was my first client ever. So shout out to Antoine. I told Antoine that name, image, and likeness would become a thing in 2019. We sat on his couch playing 2K and we talked about it for like hours. And it sounded just like some crazy shit that one of his friends was saying to him. But I had told him how a year prior to that, I wrote a plan on NIL and how it was going to become a real thing and how it made sense. And I got that idea to write it while I was actually at Rochester College, Brad. I got the idea to write that based on my best friend, my childhood best friend, Yante, playing basketball at the University of Georgia at the time, and he was the SEC Player of the Year. So I was able to kind of see how University of Georgia put on his marketing for this kid who's about to be SEC Player of the Year, but he's not making $1 off of it yet. Stegman was sold out. People are wearing Deontay Maiden t-shirts, things like that. Yeah, he wasn't profiting $1 from it. And I just knew that based on us having friendships and being super close with other kids that we won't say names, but, they got pretty handsome lump sums to go to the colleges that they did based on them being highly ranked and things like that. It was going to happen, So that's what really got me into it. And it just spit rolled more and more. And like I said, Antoine was the pioneer genesis of it all, So a pretty decent client to start off with. But, yeah.
That's a great start. Now, what does this decision mean for high school athletes in Michigan now? Now, I know when you and I talked off the podcast, I think a lot of people, when this announcement made, I think we kind of blew it all out of proportion. We're like, oh, everyone's getting paid.
Right.
And tell us exactly what this means for a Michigan high school athlete at this point with this announcement.
So really, like we spoke about, we're going to look at Michigan and we're going to say that NIL on a high scale, it's only 75 kids in all sports. That's worthy of that. And then on a lower scale, because someone said this, like, what if you got a small town kid and the town diner just wants to give them an NIL deal? Then like that makes sense too, right? So we're just gonna say like what it means on levels for certain kids. So for instance, if you have a 5-star quarterback that's coming from like a Cass Tech or something like that, and you got 10, 20,000 followers on Instagram, that's a pretty nice lucrative NIL deal because he will probably end up being a starting quarterback at someone Division I university next couple years, and you kind of got hip to this kid a little bit earlier on. But for guys that are, you said this earlier, Brad, like or a mediocre guy with not as many followers, your talent will find you. Or they'll find you because of your talent. So, I think we really blew it somewhat out of proportion, but also, like we said, it's kind of opening a door for certain parents to believe that their child is something that they're not. But that harsh reality is going to kick in very soon when they're on the court with what they think their child is, for lack of better words.
Right.
So, yeah.
And let me ask you this, kind of like a two-part question too. Why did Michigan approve the NIL, and why did it take so long, I guess?
Yeah, so they approved it because, they were so far behind, right? And it was a case of a kid that was going on in football. I don't know his name off the top of my head, but I know it was something about a 5-star kid, and he wanted to, he got offered an NIL deal, but the state of Michigan was kind of saying, like, no, but he's like, what the hell? Like, his parents are like, we're not letting this happen kind of thing. So that's kind of something that, like, really spit-rolled it a little bit even more. But to add on, I think a lot of coaches and just, like, high-profile people throughout Michigan were starting to become bothered with the thought process that our top talent has been leaving for over the last 10 years once they get to their junior, senior year of high school, because in other states they can get NIL. They can be, all this. A lot of schools are making money off of these kids. With if your high school is good, you're selling tickets for these people to go to the games, things like that. Now, these kids can't directly get paid by the school, but, like, let's be honest here. You look at most of the Michigan high school gymnasiums, and you'll see a Jets Pizza banner up somewhere, or I'm blanking on the name of it, but they used to be everywhere in everybody's high school at one point. But it's another pizza place, or even Buddies, right? And Happy's, right? Like, you got some of everybody, right? So, like, if I'm Happy's Pizza and we got to deal with, say, I don't know, I'm gonna say Notre Dame Prep, for the love of you, Freddie. Say you've been inside of Notre Dame Prep for years, and Notre Dame Prep happens to get the number 1 6'10" kid in the country, and he's playing there. Well, Buddy's Pizza looks really good at that point, right? Well, it only makes sense for them to be able to do a deal with this kid a little bit earlier on, as opposed to them being like, we had to sit on the sideline until he got to college, and then once he got to college, he went to a college that Little Caesars was sponsoring it, right, or whatever. So we never even had a chance to even approach him, right? So I think that's a really big thing that had to happen in Michigan, as well as what took it so long. So to answer the second part, Michigan's late for everything except for creating cars. Like, yeah, and that's having.
You're ahead of the game there.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, but for most things, like, we're just kind of like, I like to think of Michigan as always trying to be careful, but we're almost too careful when it comes down to sports. Yeah. So that's a big thing. Why we need that shot clock. I'm gonna keep harping on that. We need to get the shot clock.
We talked about that off air, and I've mentioned it before, and I did not realize this at all. And I guess it's because I was thinking about this. Like, I don't know if I've ever been to a high school basketball game outside of Michigan, to be honest with you. And I didn't realize that Michigan is the only state that doesn't have a shot clock in high school basketball. That's wild to me.
Well, you want to know the truth to it too?
Please tell me.
Part of the reason why we don't have shot clocks is because the MSHA, I hope I said it right. It doesn't matter. They don't pay me anyway. But they don't want to buy shot clocks for all the schools in Michigan.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they don't want to have to foot that bill for shot clocks. And then I think another part of their argument was having someone to know how to properly work the shot clock. But even then, like, I don't want to hear that, bro. Like, if we're gonna say
excuses,
yeah, those are excuses, because in my mind, you're here to make sure that college basketball can be as I say college, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone. To make sure high school basketball can be as pure as possible. You're the one that's enforcing the rules and making sure that it's as much of a fair game as possible for these kids to be able to go to the next level, right? Well, why are you cheating them out of the opportunity with a shot clock? Then you because now when they go play other kids, they're behind. I remember when I was in high school or when I growing up, we had a thing called No Child Left Behind, and I truly feel like they're leaving every child behind in sports. So
Right.
Yeah.
I stop that for sports as well.
Well, and another question I had. So you say that some juniors and seniors, high school juniors and seniors, are actually leaving the state of Michigan and going to play other places at the high school level because they could get NIL money.
Not even just NIL. It's because the purity of Michigan basketball is so low. It's no shot clock. It the level of competition, and every couple years, you're changing. They change districts. Like I like it, but I don't like. For instance, like they'll change districts where you'll have like a Lake Orion, Rochester, Adams, and Bloomfield all in one, right? Well, at the end of the day, like for us, when I was in high school, keep in mind I was telling you guys about my best friend. We were at Bloomfield. I started off high school at Losser High School. My junior year, we combined with our rival school, Andover, and we became Bloomfield Hills High School. Okay. Now, when we become Bloomfield Hills High School, now we've gotten another 15 to 2,000 kids. So we got to go up a level now, right? Okay, that's all good and fine. And our talent was there, but we have no business playing like Seaholm when we have 4 Division I guys and Seaholm's tallest guy after 2014 or whatever. It's like, 6'3" white kid that's really playing lacrosse, but he's only playing basketball because he's not afraid to take a charge and try to block a shot, right? Like it's not, at least allow these guys to be like matched up with the right appropriate people, or even with the Catholic League. I love and respect the Catholic League, but I mean, again, Freddie, this Notre Dame Prep playing basketball against UAD and Brother Rice in DCD, and DCD just recently joined the Catholic League. Shout out to them. But it's not a fair game right there. So we can't keep changing the districts, things like that, and then Michigan has a rule where they just like implemented a little bit more, and this was like everybody was so excited that you can now play games with a little bit farther distance of travel. I think it's like 2 or 3 hour travel or something like that, or right on the border state. And everybody in Michigan is like, yes. Well, no, like now we're about to go play in a state where they play without a shot clock, or they play with a shot clock, right? And so now you're instantly leaving as a Michigan team. Like they're about to go cheat us. No, you're used to holding the ball for 20 minutes throughout the game. They're not cheating you, So that's what I said. Is like it's really the top kids are leaving so that then they can experience real basketball. My client Mac Mancella's little brother is like my kid brother, Manu Mancella. He's at Wasatch. He's one of the best 3-point shooters in the country. How do we know that? He's on the Nike EYBL Scholastic. He led the Nike EYBL Scholastic in 3-point shooting last year. His team was ranked top 5 in the country the last 3 years. He left Michigan as a sophomore. He was at Sterling Heights Stevenson. He left Stevenson to go to Wasatch. Him going to Wasatch, now he's played against AJ DeBontis and all those guys as a junior, sophomore, whatever. Now he's a senior. He's at Wasatch right now. I'll send you a schedule. You can watch him play. He's the next Devin Booker. Well, guess why the world knows he's the next Devin Booker? He's playing on a national schedule. Right. They get to watch him play these top guys, with the shot clock and everything like that. So when he went and he had a breakout game last year. Are you guys familiar with Lil Darius Acuff? That plays for Arkansas. He's a starting point guard for Arkansas.
Yeah.
Darius.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's from Michigan. He started at Cass Tech.
Yes.
It's amazing. known him for a long time, right? Well, he left to go to IMG.
Yeah.
It was great for him to go to IMG because the world needed to see how good Darius Acuff was. If he stays in Michigan, yeah, he would have been great. But like him starting at Arkansas, it's a lot different from being this kid came from it was the starting point guard at IMG, blah 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 blah, going into Arkansas to play for Calipari as opposed to he was at Cass Tech going to play for Calipari. And that's no disrespect to Cass Tech. Love you, Steve Hall, all that, but it's just what it is, you know. Like this prep school, all that, it's a serious thing, you know.
Now you
Now, go ahead.
No, go
Well,
ahead.
it's interesting. So I was going to talk about IMG. Do you think that the IMGs of the world are affecting what's going on locally? I mean, it has to be. And I know you're a big basketball, but it's huge in football. People are constantly leaving the state to go to Mater Day, to go to IMG and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been going on for a while now. I mean, I'm about getting the bag. So like, if there was 100 IMGs in the country, that would be fantastic. I just don't know. As someone who's in the business, does that hurt or help?
So I would be a hypocrite on this podcast to sit here and say that I feel as though the IMGs or the prep schools of the world hurt because something you guys don't know. My partner in Power Play that helped me start Power Play, everything, we were behind having a prep school up to this year. We just took a pause on having a prep school. We had a prep school last year. We actually had a kid commit to Arkansas State. So, like, I'm all for prep school. My other partners, actually, I can't say the school right now, but it is down in Florida. They actually just got the job to take over that, like a high prep school down there. And we're praying on how the thought process of that. But prep schools are, it's hurting the public schools, but it's only hurting the certain public schools because of what things like the MSHA has in place, like in some of these places, right? Now, I will also say these prep schools are helping a lot of these kids as well, too, because now you have some of these inner city kids that can go to a prep school in high school and get away from some of the quote unquote inner city things, but their focus level can be a lot higher and just completely focus on basketball or football, right? Because like you said, it's been happening in football for forever. It's funny you say that. Actually, now that you say it jogged my memory. I have a friend that grew up with us. Actually, my child's godmother is his like best friend and manager, KJ Hamler. He went to Penn State and was drafted and stuff like that. I don't know if you remember or not, but he started off in Michigan. He went to St. Mary's. Now we all know St. Mary's powerhouse football school. Can't go wrong, right? But even him, he had to leave St. Mary's and go to IMG. Yeah, and you look at it like, but you're at St. Mary's. They had this guy. They had this guy. They had this guy, and it's like, yeah, there's no disrespect to it, but also his level of play and competition and the way he was able to prepare himself. KJ was moving like a pro by the end of his senior year as opposed to by the end of his freshman year in college, you know? And those things play a big part, huge part.
I mean, the national scheduling is when you watch the games, it's not even close.
It's not.
And in high school football, it's pretty crazy the difference that you see when Don Bosco or a Mater Day, IMG, and when they play, there's also a good school in Arizona. Like when they play some of these teams, they're on like what's
AZ
that?
Compass? Is it Arizona Compass you talk?
Yes. Like when you see these games, they're on ESPN2. They look like a junior college game. Like compared to a regular
at that moment, right then, too. That's the thing. Most of those guys are college ready in these prep schools. Like Manu, the kid I'm telling you guys about, that's why most of these guys that make it to the NBA went prep, because they're already prepared for it. So for instance, when you see like Cade, Scotty Barnes, all those guys, they all were at Mount Verde together,
Right.
Like and what plays into that is these kids now, like Manu. I seen Manu, this literally, like I said, this is like me talking about, I'm literally talking about my kid brother here now. It's around December. I go to his brother's game because I rep him, right? And I'm sitting there at his game. Somebody calls me. They're like, dang, I didn't know Manu was back home. I'm like, what are you talking about? He just played yesterday. They're playing in, I don't even remember where they're playing at, but they're playing on the other side of the country. Keep in mind, his high school is in Utah. He's like, bro, I'm watching the game. Manu done got tall. He's right behind you. I turn around, like, what the hell? I look. I'm like, oh, what's up, Manu? What are you doing? He's like, yeah, they flew us home for the weekend. You're in high school. But he had time to fly home for the weekend to be able to see his family, right? And they're like, they're off for the weekend, blah, blah, blah. But then also, on the same token, day after Christmas, he was gone. He had a game.
See? Yes.
Right? Like, you got a game. So his mindset is already, as a pro, as a senior in high school, he's on the same schedule his brother that's a senior in college is on. So, like, they're traveling to the point where, like, his dad, literally, I seen his dad at the airport on December 24th. His dad was like, I had to go watch my son play just to be able to see him somewhere for Christmas. And then, that's the type of thing you're looking at, for these prep schools with these kids. So they're already, it's exactly what it is. It's they're prepping them for the league.
Yeah.
So one of our listeners is Cole Kelly. He's in 5th grade. He goes to Notre Dame Prep, and he is in a class project where he got NIL was one of his subject, and the big majority of his grade is based on this. And I told him that we were doing this interview, and he had a couple questions for you. So I said, this is a perfect opportunity for us. And he's going to base some of the project on the podcast here. And obviously with the knowledge that Nate has. And one of his questions was, why was the NIL rules created?
Yeah. So basically just everything needs rules. Michigan was behind, and they knew that they needed to try to get in front of something they were already behind. I guess I can elaborate a little bit more. Basically, Michigan has been doing a really bad job at keeping up with the rest of the United States in high school sports. And so they knew that they needed to get these rules in place as soon as possible because, like we just got done talking about, they're losing a lot of their top talent in the States and things like that based on them being so far behind. So they knew that they needed to get these rules dropping and going very soon.
Okay. And then his last question is, why do people want to stay an extra year in college versus going to the pros? Do you think some of these athletes are just scared to take a risk?
I don't think any of these guys are afraid to take a risk because they are where they're at. Right. You got to take a risk to be playing college sports anyway, or have the opportunity or thought process to even want to go pro. You can't be scared at that point. A lot of these guys are staying because it's financial and opportunity. And if you have a chance to not only boost your resume in basketball, but boost your pockets financially to kickstart your life, that's the smartest thing to do. So the older that you get as an adult, the more you're going to realize you want to be able to set yourself up for the long term. So if I'm 23 years old and I got 2 degrees and I got an option to stay in college 1 more year and make, let's just say some basic stuff. I could make $800,000 off of me averaging 11 points a game at a Western Michigan, and I'm gonna go to Ole Miss and go get $800,000 because I shot 60% from 3 and averaged 11 points, only took 7 shots a game. instead of me trying to go declare to go pro and potentially go overseas and maybe make $5K a month, I'm gonna go make the 800,000, go play at a bigger school, play against better competition. And now, since I've played on a higher level, my pockets are at a higher level, my confidence is at a higher level, my notoriety and my name is at a higher level. Now I can get into that G League, and me making 60K in that year doesn't hurt as much, because after taxes and everything else, still, and I didn't pay my agent and maybe got my mom some or whatever, I'm still sitting at 650K, maybe $600,000.
So they can probably, generally, they can probably, in most cases, can make more money sitting, averaging 11 points on, on a college team rather than going to the G League or risking to going into the draft and being a late draft pick.
Yeah, well, and then also, at that point, you're a veteran in college at that point. So, like, a coach isn't necessarily just paying you off the numbers of the 11, 12 points a game. He's paying you off the simplicity, and it's not him. It's the I blank on it right now. It's a bad time to blank on it, but basically, you have another word is boosters,
Right.
but they're taking care of it. But I say all that to say, like, this guy or these coaches are paying for CPAs, college professional athletes, somebody who knows how to get their ass to class on time,
Right.
get on time to the bus, be able to practice, not be injured too much, make sure his grades are good when they got a 6-game road trip. Like those are all extra things that kids. Can he watch film? Can he actually really take time to watch film? Is he a good teammate? Like, certain coaches just pay for a good teammate that can come in and make a shot or two at times, like, these are all things, because again, like I said, now we're looking at college as a professional sport, but it shouldn't just be now. It's always been that, right? So realistically, the same way we look at the NBA, where, for instance, Denise Jenkins with the Pistons.
Yep.
This dude has been a pro for a long time, but he was on a two-way. Realistically, he just came in and took Jaden Ivey's spot. That's what really happened, right? But theoretically speaking, the world 6 months ago would have been like, what the hell? Don't ever put him in the game over Jaden Ivey.
Right. He came out of nowhere, literally. I mean, from the public's eyes, from the guys like you've probably seen this guy from around the block for a long time. You all knew he was coming, right?
Exactly. But
guys like us who are just social watchers are just like, where'd this guy come from? And okay, now he's good. Like, okay,
exactly. But now you think about it, well, the Pistons are paying him some good money to sit down there on the bench, right?
Right.
Well, that travels back to college. Like, okay, I need a guy that can be okay with, like, you're going to grind your way. And if somebody gets hurt, that'll be your opportunity. We don't want anybody to get hurt, but in the case that somebody doesn't, how are you going to step up in the time that we can give you to do this? But we're paying you to be a professional and act this way and be able to deal with this, right? So that's really what it is. And obviously, I don't know if I say it. They always laugh when I say Dennis or something like that. But point is, like, maybe he wouldn't be the greatest example based on, like, he was fighting for, but another veteran in the NBA maybe, or like a Jordan Clarkson, for instance, with New York, right? Like, Jordan Clarkson's been filling it up for forever. We know Jordan Clarkson could go get you 20 points tonight. Well, but he playing with Jalen Brunson. So, like, that 20 points now needs to be 13, right. Or Anthony Simons with Boston Celtics, like, Anthony had been dropping 25 a game his whole career, but when he got to the Celtics, we need 14, and everybody's like, oh, Anthony sucks. No, he doesn't suck. The Celtics only want him to get about 14 points a game, but they're paying him $180 million to get 14 points a game. He's not complaining too much. Trust me.
Right. So that's got to be a big adjustment. Obviously, that's a thing. The benefit of having a good college coach or a good NBA coach is to, like, settle that ego and know your role. understand what your role is on this team. I understand you average 25 points a game, but now we need you to do X, Y, and Z. And in order to do that, you're going to get paid X amount of money. And that's, I guess, what I lean on guys like you for that, right? To provide that guidance. Like, look, if you shave 10 points off a game, you're going to make another $200,000 or $300,000 or whatever that number is. But I guess that's where the guidance and the sports management and, you like you mentioned before, working with financial planners like Brandon Carney or one of the top financial planners in this area is like getting these people ready. And then it's just, they need it because back in the 90s, dudes were getting the bag and it was a Wild West.
Also, like something that a lot of these guys, I'm actually glad we're talking about this because it's something I always like to address. Like something that a lot of these young athletes need to understand and accept early on is that everybody was the best at some point on their team. Okay. Yeah. When every kid says they want to make it to the NBA, but making it to the NBA isn't necessarily about being the best. I always like to use Antoine in every example. Antoine Davis is the best college basketball player I ever watched play basketball. I'm saying with a straight face. You guys can Google it, everything else. My best friend, they got Yante Maiden, who's an SEC Player of the Year, Trevion Williams, who played at Purdue, 6th Man of the Year, all that. Justin Tillman, A-10 Player of the Year. Like, my friends are loaded with accolades, okay? Even Josh Jackson from Kansas, like everybody, right? Antoine's the best out of all of them I've seen play in college. And the reason why I say that is because every game, the way he approached every game, he put up 3,000 shots a day. He practiced 3,000 jump shots a day. Makes. Like, that's a fact. Anybody from Callahan Hall or Detroit Mercy will tell you guys that. That's a proven fact, right? If Antoine doesn't make it to be drafted and he's in the G League and he has 3,660 some points, 3 points shy of Pete Maravich, but ESPN is going to get our special about the racism and why our hate mail that we got and how he couldn't break the record anyway. But you're the first podcast to get that too. But like if they stop him from breaking the record because he's so great, right? And this kid owns every record in college basketball, most made threes, all of this. I watched him score 80 points in 2 games on 2 free throws, right? And he doesn't get drafted or even a 2-way after like his college career. It's not about how good you are. It's about what can fit this team to make our top guys feel like they got a better teammate. And it's not that Antoine's a bad teammate or anything like that, but the NBA just doesn't need Antoine going for 30.
Right.
It's enough in the NBA that can go get 30. So, like, in the G League, like, yeah, like, don't get me wrong, he can play in the NBA. This is my best friend I'm talking about, right? He's a great basketball player. But also, like, when it comes down to humility, a lot of these kids miss out on the fact that you can be, like, Antoine was that great. Right. And still didn't get drafted. So, like, you got to really be able to, like, fulfill yourself as a different role, more than just a scorer, more than just a passer, more than can you just. And it's funny because we give Antoine shit about it, but Antoine's become one of the greatest teammates that people have in the G League. Like, people talk about it all the time. He was always a great teammate, but he's become even more of a teammate. And we make fun of him about it because we're like, man, you become a hell of a clapper. Hell of a clapper, bro. And he was like, he's like, dude, like, bro, sometimes you sit there during the game and you like, well, I know I'm not going to play this game. I would rather be the best teammate I could be since I know I can't go be the best I could be out there. So, like, and then you look at the NBA and you think about some of these guys that stay in the NBA for 10 plus years, like a TJ McConnell. Well, small guard, TJ could go fill it up. He could go, don't get it twisted. He could really go get nasty in the NBA. But he knows that the longevity of him being in the NBA is him being a great teammate more than him trying to be this elusive great scorer.
Right. It's funny. I was actually a couple of weeks ago, the Pardon My Take podcast interviewed Geez, now I'm blanking. The guy from the Golden State Warriors played for Michigan State.
Charlie Bill?
No. God, what? I can't believe I'm blanking.
Draymond?
Draymond. Sorry. Yeah. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so pardon my take did an interview.
Charlie Bill. I went old school right there.
Pardon my take did an interview with him with Draymond, and he went back. You want to tell the guy who's been in the league for 13 years. He went back and talked about how Izzo worked on the pick and roll and the screen like nonstop in the practice, and he still like talks about that 14 years later in the league. And you want to talk about he's a controversial player, yes, but he's a great teammate. You won't find a better teammate. But
he's a great person.
Say that again.
He's a great person.
Yeah,
he's a great person.
I just thought it was really cool because it's something I could tell my 11-year-old son that like what you're doing right now in practice is something that this man has been doing for 14 years in the NBA, and he's still talking about this. The little fundamental of this game, what makes you a good teammate is to know where to screen and to set that screen. And if you are setting it for Steph, you know, just so many different little things about this game is what makes this game so awesome.
Right. Yeah, and basketball is all about simplicity, right? So like I actually when I go to the gym and train kids from time to time and stuff like that, I give them the same workout. I stole it from the Miami Heat. My best friend was down there. One of his veterans was Dwayne Wade. And I've been blessed to be around some great NBA Hall of Famers and stuff like that. And Antoine would do Steph's workout every day. And Antoine got to work out with Steph. And I've been able to see Dame and all of that. But all those shooters I just named, right? They all walk in the gym and they start shooting right in front of the rim. Like not threes, but like literally right in front of the rim. Form shots.
Right.
50, 50, 50. Right? And I always tell kids, if the greatest shooters in the world that make over $500 million to do this are gonna walk in and do this, there's no reason I should ever see you who don't make $1.
Jacket logo threes.
Yeah, like this doesn't make sense, right? And so, like you said, like it's the little things. Like the NBA is about the little things that get guys paid, and then in EuroLeague, it's about the little things, but like really intelligence within basketball. So like that's where like I would say it's a little bit of a separation, but like in pro basketball in general, the little things get you paid. Like my Trevion Williams they call him Baby Jokic playing in Turkey, and like Trevion Williams is one of the best passers in the world. And I know you wouldn't kill me for saying this, but like Trevion's playing overseas, his baseline pay per year is going to end up being over $1 million just because he's a hell of a passer, great rebounder. And that doesn't even talk about how well he can score the ball. But he's like, I love overseas basketball more because it's more scheme to it than the NBA, than just like pick and roll. And like, you know, overseas is 5 passes before a shot or 4 passes and, you know, things like that. But it's fast paced. Like it's very fast paced overseas. But like, for instance, like in the NBA, you know how like LeBron will dunk the ball and he can look at the camera and like overseas is not enough time to do that. Right. Like after they dunk it, the ball is already the other way. So from that standpoint, the little things get you paid for a very long time.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man, and it was a pleasure. And hopefully we can link up off camera and do some stuff together. But I know with your company, my company, and some of the things I do around town, I would hope that you did mention cigars. I got a cigar event coming up next week. Maybe you come out to that. And hang out.
Yeah, you just. I don't want to say it too loud. My fiance killed me. When I smoke cigars, she ate the smoke, everything. But one thing I do, I love, it's something about going to a cigar bar and having their steak and potatoes. It's like I don't know what it is. It's so good. So, yeah.
This place got some good food, but I appreciate you, Nate. And
Freddie, appreciate you guys. I'll talk to y'all soon.
That's pretty cool. It's different, man. I've never I got a chance to talk to a sports manager like that, and was introduced to a buddy of mine from Shane, who I did actually go see that Jordan McDaniel play for Brother Rice, which was pretty cool. The kid's a freshman, man. He can hoop. It's crazy. He's good. He's good.
Yeah.
What's wild about the shot clock situation?
When Dave was in Catholic League, girls, and there were some games where, the other coach would cross half court and then just wait around. Like you had to. Yeah. It was crazy to me.
Yeah, I noticed that in one of the games I went and saw, that Lakeview game that I saw Braylon play at. The St. Clair team held the ball. Now that he says that, I didn't even think about that. Speaking of basketball, though, we're moving on here. But did you watch any of All-Star Weekend? I
did not watch a lick of All-Star Weekend. To be honest, I have zero interest in it. I don't even watch like the dunk competition anymore.
Yeah. I saw all the highlights on socials. But a lot of the feedback that I was hearing this morning is the game was actually pretty good, but I don't know. Like I said, I just tuned that out. It wasn't even on my radar. I watched golf all weekend. Watch basketball, watch golf.
As I was driving up yesterday, Jackson Spikes is like, "Oh, you got to go to the game. It's in LA." And I'm like, "No way." No. So I said, "No, we're going to that." I said, "We're going to dinner in West Hollywood instead." So yeah, no, I did not watch like a lick of it. So I don't really, I can't get into any. Yeah, I've told you this, any All-Star game, but the baseball. Just because it's just like now. Yeah, hockey is a joke. Football is on a Tuesday and it's flag football, which is crazy.
Like I remember when I was a kid in the 90s, the All-Star games were so fun. They were so fun. You watch Magic and Bird, and you watch Jordan and Magic, and you remember the Magic game when he came back after retiring. That was a cool game with him and Isaiah. Like there's so many cool All-Star games I remember as a kid. So it's a game that it's kind of dwindled. I mean, it sucks.
And in the NBA, it used to be kind of wide open back in the day, but then once the fourth quarter came around, it got like really competitive.
Right.
And then that kind of went away now. But baseball's the only real All-Star game.
Yeah. I will agree. Winter Olympics, Fred. What are you watching right now? I'm watching a lot of curling. How about the Canadians, though? Huh?
Yeah, listen. There's nothing wrong with calling out people for cheating, etc.
Giving it a little nudge right after this.
Well, I mean, touching the stone after he released it, and I don't know the technicality behind that. Yes, I've been watching curling for 2 weeks now. It's amazing. Yeah. Girls, or the mixed doubles. We got silver in that. Now the girls team, the girl from our mixed doubles team is on the girls team, but the guy from our mixed doubles team is not on the guys team. So, which is weird. So yeah, I've been watching a lot of that, keeping up with the hockey. The girls are just destroying teams.
Yeah.
Beat up on Canada 5-0. It was a game that really meant nothing because they're both going to advance most likely. But yeah, and now they go to the semis. The guys are beating up, some teams too.
It's just going to be us in Canada in the finals.
Well, everyone's in hockey with girls and boys, everyone plays for the bronze, basically.
Yeah.
Now I have been watching, whatever's on at the time. Sure. I love figure skating. Big Johnny Weir guy and Tara Lipinski. Those are the homies. So yeah, we've been watching a lot of that, and I will say this: forget like what I'm watching, right? What I'm not watching. These are the two sports that need to get banned from Olympics, Winter Olympics.
Okay, do tell.
Cross country skiing and the biathlon, which is
the one with the gun,
which is cross country skiing and then shooting at targets, and then cross country skiing. So those two need to get out. Like I could think of a handful of things that can replace that, like pond hockey with a bunch of kids. Like I would rather
3v3.
maybe a snowball fight. Like
Not
I
a bad idea.
instead of dodgeball, it's a snowball fight. It's similar dodgeball rules. Get rid of cross-country skiing. Nobody wants to see you ski on flat ground.
Right. I love downhill. I love the
Yes, love it.
Awesome.
Love it.
Snowboarding, awesome. Everything's been pretty good.
But it's like cross-country skiing is like the equivalent to having a walking race. Like,
which they do that too, don't they?
Yeah, which that should be banned.
Talked about it. Like, what constitutes? Well, you broke into a full stride, you son of a bitch, you cheater.
Just let's get rid of all that stuff. But yes, cross-country skiing. Listen, the endurance behind it is crazy. I get it. I think it's the Norway guy is like, second most medals of any Olympian. But still, I'm sorry. It's those if they can get rid of cross-country skiing, like when I turn the Olympics on, I don't care what it is. And I guess the good thing with, being in the US also is we basically have someone in each event.
Right.
That's going to compete for a medal. Yeah. Most likely, right? So you can get into each event. So I don't care if it's skeleton, bobsled, any of the skiing, all cool. But like, cross-country skiing, I don't care if we have the best person in the world. I don't care.
Not watching.
Not watching it.
Not watching.
So
I hear you.
That's what I would say about that. I will say this, though. In West Hollywood, let me go back to Sir.
Tell me about the restaurant.
So, big VPR guys out here.
I believe you're going to actually have to give that acronym out to the folks. I don't think everybody knows that one.
Vanderpump Rules.
There you go.
Yeah. The Mary was super excited. As was I. Not in a fanboy way or anything, but like it was cool. I mean, you technically were at a VPR
in Vegas.
In Vegas, the Garden or whatever.
Yep.
Now me and you went gambling and the girls were having drinks and stuff, but still. So yeah, we went to that. We wanted to go there. Got reservations. Went in. Saw some current cast members.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, one was working, one was sitting. I guess maybe her shift just ended. And then, I mean, do you watch VPR or no?
I don't.
Okay. So Lisa Vanderpump owns the restaurant. And Guillermo, who is her business partner.
Okay.
In all her restaurants, a lot of them. So I end up going to the bathroom, and as I'm coming out, I see somebody coming in through the back door, and it's a dude. He's got a coat on, a hat on, and I'm like, "That's Guillermo," Yeah. So I come back to the seat. I tell Mary. She's like, "No way." I was like, "Yeah, no, he just walked in." So now this dude, he's not as big as Lisa in celeb world, right?
Okay,
but he's big to VPR fans because they know him from the show. This dude eats it up. He comes in the dining rooms and taking pictures with everybody.
Did you get a picture?
Yes. Mary has a picture. I got a picture with him and Mary. But like Lisa Vanderpump's not coming in if it's busy and getting, like he does, but this dude was eating it up. He was like, "Yeah, sure. Come over here. Yeah. Like, so that was cool. The food, and you're not a VPR guy, but so Sir is known for their deep fried goat cheese balls.
Okay.
I'm going to say it was worth the hype. Like they were amazing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that was cool. We did get I got the burger, Wagyu. I thought it was really good. Um Mary got the truffle fries were amazing. You know, she got a salad. We sat now when we got into the restaurant, there was only maybe two tables that were sitting. When
Oh, I would assume it would be busy.
it's 5 o'clock. Now it's a Sunday, right?
Right.
By the time we left, the place was jammed. Sunday night, like jam packed.
Was this one of the places that we drove by when we did one of the tours?
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
So, I feel like the majority of the people in there are fans.
Yeah.
Because we met two sisters were sitting next to us and we chatted with them. They're from Missouri. And they were huge, one was a huge fan, one was the sister. So they were fired up. She got a picture with Guillermo as well. I mean, the food was, listen, I will say this. I would go back there for the food, not like I feel like there's a lot of places you want to go to because of TV or movies or whatever.
Sure.
Then you're like, okay, cool, I did it. That's a place where I would go back there regardless of the show.
Right.
Like I thought it was that good. And it's a really cool, like the decor and shit like that. Like, and if you've seen the show and stuff like that, you'd see it's really dope. But like, yeah, we were fired up. Mary was fired up. So nice. So that's what we did instead of going to the All-Star game.
Makes sense. Sounds like you had more fun. Very fun.
Definitely.
So what we did this week is we've been, if you follow us on YouTube, you go on the YouTube channel, we're updating everything. Obviously we got Playoff Mike involved. We got Sarah involved now. She's working the algorithms on the YouTube channel. So we're trying to come up with new things for the show, right? We're losing football. We have to come up with new ideas. So what we incorporated now is we now have a listener line, Fred. So you can call this line, leave a message, and we're going to play it here online. All right. You can ask us any questions you want. You have maybe just say, hey, Fred's the weatherman and he's terrible at picks. I mean, by the way, you owe me money from your Michigan State under bet on Friday that they got blown out by Wisconsin. I should have, as soon as you text me that, I should have went Wisconsin in the over. Exact opposite. It's exactly what happened. I'm just like, God damn it, Fred. So I went on my own, picked Morikawa this weekend and won. So we did have a caller. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm gonna play it in. We got it. All right. Here we go. I'll play it for you.
Hey guys, long time listener, first time caller. Wanted to check in on movies that you guys have been watching recently. My significant other and I, name to be withheld for now, just finished The Lord of the Rings a couple weeks ago, and then Twilight. So my question to you would be, give me your top 3 movie series. Doesn't matter how many movies are in there. I would say probably more than 3 that you guys have seen throughout your, experienced lives. Thanks again. Long time listener, first time caller.
Okay. Well, I think that was a dig. I think he's calling us old.
What's that?
I think he's calling us old in our experienced lives.
No, I think he respects our experience.
I love it. So I went ahead and I picked my 3. Fred, did you get your 3?
I have a million.
Okay. You give me your first one. Top one.
I mean, it's tough to have a top series. I thought it was the caller is. I'm not into Lord of the Rings and right. Twilight and stuff like that. But I did hear that. Yeah, I have heard great things about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna go. I mean, Rocky. It is just, if you watch it front to back, I guess you can add Creed to the end. Technically, It's in the same universe, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, the Rocky series, I'm a big Indiana Jones guy. And this shows some of my experience in life.
Yep.
I Die Hard.
Ooh, good one.
But I mean, number one, I mean, do I go with the Godfather saga? Now, 3 was kind of shitty. 1 and 2 were amazing. So like I would give up 3 to have the 1 and 2 in there. But yeah, so I'm spitballing right now. So just bear with me. I mean, Star Wars is one of the best out there. But yeah, I'm gonna go with like Rocky, Indiana Jones, maybe Friday the 13th. I was a big Jason guy.
Okay.
Big Freddy guy too. So like Nightmare, when they crossed, when Jason visits, Manhattan, and I think that was Nightmare 10. It was like or Friday 13th 10. Like there was a cross there, Freddy versus Jason. Like, I mean, awesome. But my number one, I'm gonna probably stick to my guns. I'm gonna say Rocky.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny, Fred. I can't even. You probably won't be able to see my notes, but right out the gate, number one, without hesitation, I went Rocky. Right.
Okay.
And to your point, I went Creed, adding Creed into that mix too.
In the same universe.
Same universe, right? Other one I picked was The Dark Knight. I'm a big Batman guy.
Okay.
Christian
Me
Bale.
as well.
What's that?
Me as well.
Yeah, and I'm not like I like Marvel. I watch the Marvel movies, but I'm a big Batman guy. Love the first one. I would have to say the most gimmicky one would probably be the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he was Freeze.
Yep.
But The Dark Knight was awesome, so that was my other one. And then I threw this one in here. Now the caller stated 2 or more, I believe is how he worded it, and I
think he said 3.
Oh, that's right. He said 3. I'm going to go ahead. This one only has 2, and it just recently added a second, but it deserves the accolades. I'm going with Top Gun.
Okay. Not mad at that. I was going to. Yeah, no, I mean, 2 is a sequel. 3 is a series. 3. So, but like, I mean, I'll take it. I'm not sure the listener will take that. I just think he'll take it as a sequel. Maybe if Top Gun comes out with another one, we could start to call it a series.
Which they are. There's talks.
So we do have that in the making. Listen, Bad Boys, amazing.
Oh, didn't even think about that one. That's a good one.
Naked Gun. Police Academy.
Police Academy is amazing. I totally forgot about Police Academy.
So
I guarantee that this caller, I can just tell he's younger. No clue.
No. I would get the caller to watch Police Academy front to back and Naked Gun, and and then get back to us. Beverly Hills Cop.
Ooh,
an Axel at the end. I mean, these are big time.
Yeah.
Series. Now, like, I know nowadays when money talks, and it's a little different the way these movies are making money. Yeah. Lord of the Rings is ton of money. Twilight, ton of money. It's not even But I'm not sure Lord of the Rings is better than Beverly Hills Cop.
No, it's not. I've never. I can't. I've never watched Lord of the Rings, but I don't know too much that is better than Beverly Hills Cop. And then they had the most recent one, which was awesome. Like,
yeah, Axel. Yeah. So I mean, with the experience that we do have, and when we grew up, there were a lot of series going on.
There was a lot of series. Sometimes they went a little too long.
Porky's. Amazing.
You are throwing out some oldies.
But I mean, these are amazing series. I mean, not as popular as Twilight, but better.
Well, the problem is you got mainstream media now. We got social media and all that stuff. Like when Porky's came out, it was just on the VHS, man. You can.
Yeah, but still an amazing series.
Good story.
So that's fun. I will say this. I do have a funny story about Batman. 1989, Batman came out.
Well,
I believe
it was the Michael Keaton,
Yeah.
Dan DeVito first one. Okay.
Yes, I believe it was 89 and in the summer. What's that?
Jack Nicklaus.
Yeah. So I go to see it, me and my buddies, keep them unnamed. It was so crazy to get tickets that they were selling out at our movie theater.
Okay.
So we went there and stood in line for the 7:00 show. Ended up not like, oh, that's it, guys, right here. That's it, you know. So they were playing it in 2 theaters in there. There's only 3, I think. 3 screens, but they were playing it 2. So we asked to buy for the 8:00 show. And they're like, yeah, sure. You know. So we bought 4 tickets. Now 8:00 comes. We wait outside. The line shows up. We start scalping tickets to Batman because people were going to lose out. Now, when the line was when they were saying there's only 15 left, there's only 10 left, we'll go to the back of the line and say, you want to get in this show? So tickets at the time, I believe, were in 89 were like $650.
I was going to say $450, but okay. Yeah.
I think we were selling these for $10-15.
Boom.
Okay. So now 8:00 goes in, we buy 9:00. We did this until 10:30.
Genius, Fred.
Right? So we go watch Batman at the 10:30 showing. We're all falling asleep. because it was kind of long. So we all made, I think there was 4 of us. We made $40 each and got to see the movie.
For free.
Obvious, yeah. So, yeah, I scalped tickets. I was 15 years old, and I scalped tickets to Batman.
That's awesome.
One of the highlights of my life.
That's awesome. Hustler from way back.
Dude, you have to know when to when to strike, when the iron's hot.
That was
you know, when people are desperate, you strike.
There we go. All right, Fred. Well, you enjoy your little mini vacation you got out there. Next week, really excited. We're going to be talking all Pistons. We got my main man, Jake Bonderick, coming in. Huge Piston fan. So he is going to be on the pod next week. I'm looking forward to that. We're going to be talking Pistons next week, Fred. Be ready.
Spring training starts Friday.
Spring training. I know we're going to get in there. We're going to get Nolan on. We're going to be talking baseball.
We go World Baseball Classic in like a week.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Well,
Puerto Rico with no Baez is a little frustrating.
Yeah, and Lindor too, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, and Bad Bunny offered to pay insurance.
See, giving back to the people. My Puerto Rico hat should come in the mail tomorrow. I got 2 of them on the way. I didn't get the World Baseball Classic one. I got the black one because I like black hats. So
yeah, no, it's dope. Yeah, I can't wait. The Caribbean series was like a week and a half ago, maybe. It was on MLB Network, which was amazing as well. But now the World Baseball Classic is going to be it's awesome. It's always awesome to be able to watch meaningful games during spring training.
Yeah. It was last year. It was last year. 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
2 years ago. It was really awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. And then stay tuned, though. I believe it's March 4th. We're going to be on the Sports Reel podcast on Tuesday evening. So keep an eye out for that. We'll drop that again next week. But Fred, as always, it's a pleasure, my friend. I'll talk to you next week. Take care, bro.
All right, buddy.